Well, I would have liked to have seen additional charges, enhanced charges, because of her culpability, her criminal culpability here. And our hands were tied.
That is a frustrated Clinton County DA Andrew Wylie. Joyce Mitchell sentenced to up to 7 years in prison yesterday for helping those two guys, Richard Matt and David Sweat, get out of jail and escape from jail. And we're joined now by our legal analyst, Chaz Farcher from Martin, Harding & Mazzotti. Chaz, how are you?
Good morning, Chuck. How are you?
I'm doing great. So, Wylie all along said, man, this crime deserves a lot more time. Why did not Joyce Mitchell get more time?
Well, I think at the end of the day, what it comes down to is how strong of a case do you have for other charges or for other charges that you can bring against her. What she ended up pleading guilty to is introducing prison contraband and a misdemeanor facilitation charge. But, there were other charges that they could have looked into or pursued. There was the potential murder plot against her husband, which they didn't pursue. There was potential charges for the sexual contact she had with the inmate, which they didn't pursue. And what it really comes down to is, what type of evidence has come out in the background? What have they brought forth during that investigation? So it may be a lack of cooperation from other inmates. It may be a lack of cooperation from her or Sweat or her husband who doesn't want to pursue those things. So it may be a whole conflict of factors here.
I was listening to the judge yesterday when he was doling out the sentence, and he was saying, I know you've never been in trouble before. I know this is the first time you've done anything illegal, but it was a really big one. So I don't think he had any indication why he should go easy on her. But do you think at some point, do you think she'll get out early after the 2 1/3, or do you think she'll serve the full 7?
No, I don't think she'll do that. Well, first of all, even if she did, even if she maxed out, if she did 7 years, you get credit for good time off the maximum, which would be a third off. So I think in the worst case scenario for her, she's probably looking at somewhere between 4 and 5 years. Most likely when you have someone like Joyce Mitchell, she'll go in, she'll do the minimum 2 1/3, and she may actually be eligible for parole before that if she does something called merit time, which is where you engage in some of these programs they have in prison, such as going to classes and getting certificates. If she does that, she may actually be eligible to get out slightly before the 2-year mark, which is, probably my guess. If I had to look into my crystal ball, I'd say she does 2 to 4 years and she's out.
Now, you've been, the system and behind the scenes. This was a very high-profile case that a lot of people are angry about. Cost us $22 million. Does the political aspect of letting her out early, would that play into effect in any way?
Yeah, I think there are certainly politics involved when you're dealing with a position like the district attorney's office, or even when you're dealing with a position like judge. Those are elected positions. You don't want the appearance that you're soft on crime. Certainly, you need somebody who's tough on crime when you're dealing with those positions. And I think, that had something to do with it. You see it in other cases like you do down in the Baltimore riots, where you have a lot of police officers who are charged. Some believe they're overcharged. Some believe they're undercharged. But, it certainly becomes a political issue. With regard to the money here, the other aspect of Joyce Mitchell's sentencing is the DA is also pushing for restitution. They're looking for $120,000 to be paid back, whether it's from her, or the inmate
Sweat.
Will have there.
Yep. Yeah, for the damage done to the cells, the prison itself. Speaking of Sweat, he's supposedly now in negotiations. His attorney is over, he's in jail for life, okay? So Kelly and I were talking about this yesterday, but Sweat supposedly in plea bargain negotiations on this latest charges in the escape, et cetera. What leverage does Sweat have, and what incentive do prosecutors have to just try to wrap this thing up with a plea?
I think as far as it goes for Sweat, yes, he's not getting out. He's serving life. He's not going to be getting out, so there's no reduction in sentence really coming. But, how is that time in prison going to be spent? He was on the honor block before where he had a lot of freedom. He was able to engage in activities. He was able to work in the seamstress shop and arts and crafts and things like that. Now when he goes back, is he going to spend 2 years in solitary? Is he going to spend 3 years in solitary? So it's how he's going to spend that time, I think, is of interest to him and of interest to the prison officials and, police and those in the DA's offices. How did this escape occur? How can they improve the system? What changes can they make to make sure it never happens again? So information for the officials.
So the basic reason the prosecution would cut a deal is to get him more cooperative and get more information out of him. And also, it would avoid a trial too, I guess.
All of those things, exactly. I think information. There's no really real reason to spend taxpayer money on a guy who's already in prison for life. It might be a hollow victory at that point. So I think both of those.
Is it safe to assume that Joyce Mitchell will not be serving her time in Clinton County?
I think that's probably fair. Probably not in the seamstress shop either.
Chaz Farcher, our legal analyst from Martin, Harding & Mazzotti, 1-800-LAW-1010. Thanks, Chaz.
Have a great day.
Take care.